Good morning and welcome to the Standing Committee's meeting for Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. All council meetings will be live streamed on the city website and the city channel, Pittsburgh YouTube's channel. Our first order of business is roll call. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Mrs. Kel Smith.
Here.
Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle Chair.
Here.
8 members present.
Thank you. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind all speakers that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before city council, and profanity will not be permitted. Once you are called, please restate your name and your neighborhood for the record. Our first registered speaker is Naomi Mullen.
Good morning. Shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. We, the people of Bon Air, have significant investment into our properties. We stand to lose significant value financially and quality of life reductions. The largest investment that the average American will make is in their home. Our biggest assets are being threatened. This is why we as a community have expressed significant concern about the potential development of Bon Air School into anything other than a green space. We already had a valuable school stolen from our community. We deserve a valuable green space to replace it. Reparations are due. The Pennsylvania Constitution states, under political powers, that all power is inherent in the people and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. Negligent infliction of emotional distress and blockbusting are being perpetrated by those who oppose our community. Real damages are occurring to the Bon Air community. I have no doubt that this controversy was a contributing factor to the demise of my husband. The PPS created this controversy against we, the property owners of Bon Air. My husband did his duty to promote the peace, safety, and happiness of the people he served. Will you, as elected public servants, do your duty to help the people of Bon Air? My husband, Michael, was duty-bound his entire adult life. He completed his mission on earth well. He is now one of the watchers and helping in the spiritual realm. He is still a force with us. A neighbor wrote, I think one of the best ways we will honor him is to keep fighting for Bon Air and be kind to our neighbors. We will commit to that, I promise. Shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. Michael Mullen, Memorial Green Space.
Our next registered speaker is Kelly Strain.
Hi, Kelly Strain, Sharpsburg, PA. I am opposed to the medical and higher education facility user privilege tax. I am not a city resident, but my family uses or could have to use the medical facilities in the city. In regards to the areas surrounding the city, there is some specialized medical care that only can be found in the city. Education and medical costs are already expensive. All you're going to do is make it harder for people to pay for an education or get medical care. I've also heard this tax is illegal. The PA gas tax is the highest in the country, 57.6 cents a gallon, per gallon to be exact. This is the money we pay to purchase gas, which goes to pay for infrastructure repairs. You don't need any other tax money for infrastructure repairs. Please reconsider this ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next registered speaker is Dominic Victoria.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Dominic Victoria. I am from Greenfield, but I'm currently living in central Oakland. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak today. So I'm a current sophomore at the University of Pittsburgh. I also do community and governmental relations with our student government. I'm also a Pittsburgh resident, lifelong. So today I'm just here to also express my opposition to the proposed ordinance, which would put a tax on higher ed students and medical patients in our city. But yeah, so like I really just want to make clear, first of all, like I'm equally concerned about the recent collapse of the Fern Hollow Bridge. I cross that bridge to work every day this summer. I've really appreciated the trails beneath it, like my whole life. So it really was hard to believe that those images were real when they came out that morning. It's obvious like that we need to increase investment in infrastructure. I just don't think this is the way to do it. Really, I'm just concerned about the way the proposed tax would be implemented, especially. So like a flat tax to me with no exceptions, just it's always going to be regressive. Those extra few $100s probably aren't going to be that much of a burden to some of our economically advantaged students, but those are far from obviously the only students being affected. Like more than half of our student body receives some form of financial aid, including myself. And low-income students already struggle with the outrageous cost of tuition here. It's gone up by like 30% in the past decade alone. So those extra few $100s, like I said, might not seem like much to some, but to the average college student, that's weeks of groceries, like a month of rent, or maybe like one textbook based on the class. The same goes, I think, also for those folks whose medical expenses are going to go up, and I think that's just an equally unfortunate and misguided result. Regressive taxes just to me are bad policies, and there's no reason we should be implementing them in the 21st century. Just briefly to conclude, I definitely agree, and I agreed for a long time that not-for-profit organizations need to contribute more, especially to our communities. But I think a consumer-facing tax just does not really do that. We want to see like these revenues, these massive revenues from these nonprofit organizations, especially UPMC, used to fund the community, rather than those multi-million-dollar salaries that they seem to always get their executives. But I also just don't think students and medical patients are the reason that isn't happening right now. So, I just ask that you don't lay the costs of our failing infrastructure on folks who are like less able to pay. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Our next registered speaker is Harshitha Ramanan, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
No, you got it right. Hi, everyone. My name is Prashita Ramanan, and I'm the president of the Student Government Board at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm here to speak in the opposition of the 1% tax proposal on students and individuals seeking healthcare. To echo some general student sentiments, but mostly my own. Pennsylvania is already one of the states with the highest state tuition. On top of that, the increase in educational expenses with this proposed tax will be extremely off-putting for students and likely steer them away from going to school in Pittsburgh. I know that as an out-of-state student, if I had to pay additional fees, I would have committed to another school, which would have been a shame because I've loved my experience at my institution and would never trade my education and opportunities that I've received so far. Like Councilman Burgess said, a strong part of our economy is our educational institutions. Therefore, it does not make much sense to add this tax and possibly diminish the strength of our universities in the city. In addition to all of that, students have increasing debt after graduation year after year due to inflation of tuition prices. Most of us will likely not be able to pay off our debt from college until we are well into our 30s. And I don't believe that making any of those numbers worse would be beneficial for the economy of Pittsburgh as a whole. By proposing an additional tax on those trying to seek healthcare, you are essentially targeting another weak financial link in our society, especially in a pandemic when you have no idea when you might need to seek healthcare. This seems to be an added cruel addition considering everything else that's happening in the world at the moment. Both students and patients already have a lot to pay for, like tuition, treatment, medication, insurance. And adding another item on top of all of that is going to be a huge financial burden, especially for all the young people in the city. When you're just starting off your career and you don't have a lot of resources, every decision you make counts. And when I moved to Pittsburgh for the opportunities and comparatively low cost of living coming from California, I wasn't really expecting something like this. And so I really hope this doesn't pass. And as a student who's going to graduate soon, I will likely not remain in Pittsburgh if a tax like this passes. I understand this is all in efforts to try and help the aging infrastructure, but I'm sure that there is another solution somewhere, but this is not the one I would be in support of, and neither are my fellow students. Thank you.
Thank you. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. Is there anyone with us in chambers wishing to speak? Please come forward now. You will be given 3 minutes. Provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
I have been a registered speaker for this session. It's on the record in my email. Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Belsuver. I completely empathize with the two previous speakers. As a former instructor at the University of Pittsburgh, one who was also a graduate student, it is really a struggle to do what they do. I have a 99% fact accuracy percentage during my public comments, 2010 through 2022. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, via a number of different assessments, is less than 75%, and the Tribune less than 50%. Global Intelligence Society National Candidate 2024. My key theme is vote by voter verification. March is Asian Intelligence Month, which we sponsor, which I created in 2012. Concerns of council include Asia, the vote, speech censorship, corruption, and infrastructure. I have a lot to say about the Fern Hollow Bridge problem, but not today. On Asia, Tao, Li, Alji, Shanti Now, way of the penetrating body brain. This is my martial arts invention. Tao, Jit, Kundo, as many of you know, is the way of the intercepting fist, which was Bruce Lee. On the vote, Mr. Gainey claims to be mayor based on citizen vote. This is a delusion. Can Gainey check to verify that his vote was recorded for whom he thinks he voted? The answer is no. Gainey cannot prove that Gainey voted for Gainey. Do any of you dispute this as a fact? Not the only reason Gainey thinks Gainey voted for Gainey is self, but also for others. Well, no other individual who says, quote, I voted for Gainey can prove that he or she did so. This is delusional thinking on censorship. I oppose censorship of any kind, particularly with respect to public comment. I think people should be able to say what they want to say in any language that they please. What will you do if people start to speak in Hindi, in Hausa, in Deutsch? I don't think any of you are familiar with or conversant in those languages. How are you going to edit, censor, deal with those people? I just find it absurd. What if Tulsi Gabbard comes here? I've invited her.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Esteemed members of the City Council, good morning. My name is Dr. David Givens. I'm here from my association with Oakland. I appreciate the opportunity today to speak with you. It's good to see some of you again from when I last spoke before this council, when the issue of taxing students was proposed in 2009. At that time, I was a graduate student living in Brookline. I stand before you now to oppose the new version of this tax as a family member, a father, and an educator. I'm deeply concerned by Reverend Burgess's recently proposed tax on tuition and medical services under consideration today. These charges would disproportionately impact Pittsburghers least likely to be able to afford it, adding hundreds to thousands of dollars in costs, not to hospitals or universities, but to hardworking, vulnerable families, students, and communities. My son has undergone open heart surgery here at Children's Hospital, and we were surrounded by other families enduring chemotherapy, surgeries, and illnesses of every kind. To add an additional cost on top of the extraordinary burdens and fears that families here in Pittsburgh endure every day is unconscionable. What's more, that our welcoming city would essentially seek to profit off of children's and our citizens' illnesses, particularly during this time of increasing mental health issues, is abhorrent. Just as damning is the council's idea that education is a luxury to be exploited. You may recall that Pittsburgh pursued this misbegotten idea in 2009, where it harmed the image and the reputation of our fair city. Pittsburgh was pilloried in the New York Times, Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, NPR, and other national outlets for its callous and likely illegal attempt to profit off of folks looking to improve their lives through education. After completing my own education here at Pitt, I continue to live in Pittsburgh and teach HIV prevention at Pitt with future researchers, social workers, and public health professionals. I've seen firsthand how so many of these students have overcome challenges to be here in our city and cannot afford the hundreds of dollars in fees this bill would add. What's more, this bill will create disproportionate and compounding barriers for older residents in lifelong learning programs, sick or disabled students, veterans, older non-traditional students, graduate students, minority and international students, and young people with disabilities, like my son, seeking to enroll in college lifelong skills programs. In short, this latest version only adds on further cruelty to taxing students by now also including the sick. Members of council, I urge you to reject this proposed tax. In any form, this tax will tarnish the image and accessibility of our fair city while leaving hospitals and universities untouched, but causing direct and substantial financial harm to our residents, particularly those who can least afford it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
My name is Yvonne F. Brown. I live at 715 Mercer Street up in the Hill District. The building on top of the hill that Kaylee Irvis, a state representative, had built for the seniors. I go downtown every Tuesday and Wednesday, and there was homeless people that are out there. And there's one man that I would go in Burger King and I get these sandwiches on a special. And I sometimes have 2 sandwiches, 2 French fries and pop. I know that one day I said, "Sir, if you're in there, I have some food for you." He jumped up. So I've been taking food down there and shoes and socks and underclothes. Do you realize that a homeless person is the same as you and me, just that they have no place to live? And I was looking through my papers and I see it. December the 15th in 2002, life with no home is getting harder. Now, there were homeless men, because I was asking about the one man, they tore his stuff down. This is right on Smithfield Street. And they were sitting there, there's 3 of them. I was questioning about what happened to him. I said, did they put him in jail? You know, you used to take the homeless people, put them in jail and throw all their stuff away. But they said, no, they took them out East Liberty or somewhere. There was one man that was explaining he's homeless, but he has a job. He needs his birth certificate. He don't have $20 to get the birth certificate. And I told him, and I told quite 3 of them, I told him, come up here to city council and tell you counsel people so you would know. Then he also said, "Miss, do you understand? There's the church on Smithfield. They're closing it down today." He says, we'll have no place to go. I told them to come up here. He swore he would. A couple of them said they would. See, what you don't understand, I keep telling you, you make the life and death decisions for the people in Pittsburgh, the same way with the doctor. And I'm glad that the doctor came because he can explain much better than what I can, because he's dealing with the hospitals, Pitt, and the different organizations. I come down because there's seniors up in the building, in my building. They wanted to know, and look, Mr. O'Connor's not here. They wanted to know when he gave the proclamation, what was this baby doing up there? I said, oh, it's a little white baby. So they'll take it and they show him off the same way she did with her. Gone 4 months, come back with a baby sitting on her lap. But when my 5-year-old Black grandchild speak, Mr. Burgess says it's not the place and the time. I've never seen it when a white child spoke that you said that they can't speak. I come down because of this colorism. If you're like complexion like Tim Stevens, you can speak. Esther Bush, head of the Urban League, was not allowed to. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Any further speakers with us in chambers and or online? Seeing none, that moves us to our standing committees agenda. The first committee of the day is Finance and Law, which is chaired by myself. If the clerk will please read bills 191, 174, and 175 together.
Okay. Bill 191, resolution directing the Director of Finance and the city solicitor to determine the true fair market value of property owned or held by tax exempt institutions and organizations in the city as of January 1st of 2022. The estimated amount of payroll preparation taxes these institutions would be required to remit to the city were they for-profit organizations for the purposes of establishing payments in lieu of taxes, agreements, and authorizing the mayor and director of finance and the city solicitor to enter into an agreement with institution of higher learning and/or institutions of purely public charity for the purposes of collecting payments in lieu of taxes. Bill number 174, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh City Code at Title II Fiscal Article 7, business-related taxes by adding Chapter 257, medical and higher education facilities user privilege tax pursuant to the authority of the Local Tax Enabling Act of 1965 and the City Home Rule Charter. Bill number 175, resolution for the creation of a special trust fund to be known as the City of Pittsburgh Infrastructure Fund for the deposit of funds to be used for the improvement, maintenance, creation, and operation of infrastructure owned by the City of Pittsburgh.
Need a
Mr. Chair,
motion?
Mr. Chair, motion to hold for televised post agendas and public hearings.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Roll call, please. Roll call vote.
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Madam President, I'm sorry.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Absolutely not.
Mr. O'Connor, Mrs. Cal Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle Chair.
Aye.
Aye, 7, noes 1.
Thank you. All bills will be held for cablecast, public hearing, and post agenda. That takes us to our only new paper, Bill 168.
Bill 168, resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional services agreement with the exponent for professional engineering services in connection with claims and litigation for the Fern Hollow Bridge in an amount not to exceed $175,000.
Need a motion?
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill will be held for an executive session. That takes us to our invoices. Need a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Invoices are approved. Need a motion to approve the P cards.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? P cards are approved. That takes us to Public Safety Services Committee, chaired by Councilman O'Connor. One deferred paper, Bill 32.
Bill 32, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title I, Administrative Article 3, Organization, Chapter 116, Department of Public Safety by adding a new section 11617, Regulation of Pedestrian Stops by Officers of the Bureau of Police.
Is Rev on the line?
Yes, motion to hold, let's hold it 2 weeks. Motion to hold 2 weeks.
Good.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill will be held 2 weeks. New papers, Bill 169.
169, resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in favor of International Trauma Life Support Pennsylvania in an amount not to exceed $6,600 for trauma and life support certifications necessary to the missions of the Bureau of Emergency Medical Services.
Sorry, I got disconnected. Where did I miss the first bill? Did we hold it?
We held it for 2 weeks, Councilman. We're now
Oh,
on.
okay. Sorry.
No
Okay, sorry. Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 170.
Bill 170, resolution amending resolution 152, authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the city into an amended agreement with the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators for training and certification services regarding the Department of Public Safety boat operations at a sum not to exceed $679,000.
Motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 171.
Bill 171, resolution amending resolution number 674, authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into an amended license agreement between the city and Plaza at Grandview Owners Association at a cost not to exceed $104,400. Resolution number 674 must be amended in order to correct applicable funding accounts in future lease years.
Motion to approve. Sorry, I think I figured it out.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. That takes us to Public Works Committee chaired by Councilman Coghill. One deferred paper, Bill 56.
Bill 56, resolution vacating a portion of Forbes Avenue laid out in the Associate Congregation Plan, recorded in Plan Book Volume 1, page 95, in the First Ward, 6th Council District.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bill is recommended. Our new paper, Bill 164.
Bill 164, a resolution providing for a third supplemental agreement with Michael Baker for contract administration and construction inspection service costs associated with the small grants project agreement and providing for the payment thereof relating to Washington Boulevard Trail not to exceed $72,153.53 for $10,469.66 increase from the previous agreement.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Human Resources Committee, which is chaired by Councilman Kraus. We have one new paper, Bill 167.
Bill 167, resolution amending resolution 478, which authorized the mayor and the director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into amended professional services agreement and/or contracts with Ceridian Human Capital Management, Inc. by increasing the not to exceed amount by $331,227 for services relating to the benefits module and its implementation.
Motion to approve. Discussion.
Second.
Discussion, Councilman Wilson?
Yeah, I didn't know if the director's on the line. I just had a couple questions.
I don't
He's
see.
right there.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
if I'm looking on last.
I was looking for Director Manuel.
Director Manuel was not in.
No, it's perfectly fine. I mind if you say your name and.
My name is Mary Griffith, payroll manager for the city of Pittsburgh. The benefits manager is not available, neither is the director of human resources.
All right, thank you.
So I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I'm just curious. This comes up. Is this the same one that comes up every year where we renew the contract for Ceridian?
It comes up, it's been approached every year for the last 2 to 3 years, I believe.
Okay. Can you remind me what that program does?
That program takes the benefits that are now being handled by a third party and brings it back in-house to house our benefits in-house and it'd be easily accessible to us.
Okay. Is that an internal thing that the HR staff
Yes.
use? Okay. It's
Yes.
not the public facing one. Okay. Thanks. I just wanted to get my bearings. Thanks.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
No, thank you for being here in place of
My
everyone.
pleasure.
Thanks.
Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. That moves us to our Land Use and Economic Development Committee, chaired by Councilman Wilson. One deferred paper, Bill 65.
Bill 65, resolution amending resolution number 863 entitled Adopting and Approving the 2019 CDBG Program by transferring remaining funds from the James Street Step Reconstruction Project to the Northside Christian Health Center, $76,000, and traffic calming, $14,220.54.
Motion to approve. Discussion.
Second. Discussion, Councilman?
So I've been holding this bill because I'm waiting for a bid to come back. Unfortunately, I do want to hold it, continue to do it each week. So I just wanted to
update members. I mean, I guess there's another strategy where I could table it, right, and then bring it back. But if everyone's in line with my strategy, it'd be great just to keep holding that every week until I get that bid. All right.
Cool.
So then I'll motion to hold 1 week. Thanks.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It will be held 1 week. That moves us to Intergovernmental Affairs Committee chaired by Councilwoman Gross. One deferred paper, Bill 44.
Bill 44, a resolution adopting plan revision to the city of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for 4808 Baum Boulevard in the 8th Ward.
Motion to hold 4 weeks. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill will be held 4 weeks. Bill 165.
Bill 165, resolution amending resolution number 483, which authorized a professional services agreement and/or contracts with Buchanan, Ingersoll, and Rooney PC for professional consulting services for federal government affairs and legislative services by extending the term for 2 additional years and by increasing the authorized amount by $124,000.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill is recommended. Bill 166.
Bill 166, resolution amending resolution number 484, which authorized a professional services agreement and/or contract with Milady and Wooten, Inc. for professional consulting services for state government affairs and legislative services by extending the term for 2 years and by increasing the authorized amount by $132,000.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say
Sorry,
aye.
Mr. Chair, sorry. I don't know what's happening with my computer today. I have to abstain on the prior bill.
165.
Yeah, with the prior bill for the federal consultants. I have to abstain on that bill.
Okay.
Thank you.
On Bill 166, all those in favor?
Aye.
We voted already.
Any opposed? Affirmative recommendation on 166. Going backwards, Councilman O'Connor abstained on Bill 165.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Got it. That exhausts our agenda for today.
Number 0056.
Deferred paper into Public Works. Second.
006.
Oh, thank you.
0056.
Did you repeat it because your mic was off?
Okay, bill number 0056. The director asked me to hold it for 30 days.
Second.
So motion to
Motion
reconsider.
reconsider.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The bill is back on the table.
Now you have to hold motion.
Okay, motion to hold for 30 days.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 56 will be held for 30 days. Now that exhausts our agenda. We do have meeting announcements this afternoon at 3 p.m. Council will hold an executive session on Bill 154. Next week, council will hold our regular and standing committee meetings on Tuesday, March 22nd and Wednesday, March 23rd, respectively. Both meetings will be held at 10 a.m. To register to speak, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage by 9 a.m. the morning of said meeting. You may also call the city clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Do we have announcements from members? I saw Councilman Gross and I saw Council President Smith. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Council.
I just want to thank the Pittsburgh Police and let Reverend Burgess and his family know that we're thinking of them. The woman who was missing from Homewood yesterday is his aunt and living with Reverend Burgess. He and his wife and their family are caretakers for her. And I want to thank the police. They returned her to them today. And so good job by them. And we hope that she's doing well.
My understanding is she's presumed to be in good health.
Good.
So they're at the hospital, but she's in good health.
A feisty woman who wanted to get out. We gotta love her. Yeah.
Madam President, thank you, Madam, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman Burgess.
Yeah, I was not going to say much about it publicly, but all of us, that's what we're to do, is to take care of, our family members in their time of need. And I also thank the police, all the detectives, and we're grateful for finding her after a night of away. She's 89, but she is in good spirits. We're here in the hospital and they're just checking her out, and hopefully I'll be able to get her some lunch and get home and get back to business as normal. So God is good. And, this is what we are to do, is to take care of our family members and our friends in their time of need. So thank you, Teresa, for saying that. I am also very grateful for their professionalism and for their expertise. And this morning I got good news. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anything else from members? If not, we need a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Who's go-